Hello. I'm trying to find a way to be seen. I'm up here on my ship, which is where I love to come, but I think that we might need to change angles. Let's see if that's any better. I think that might be better. Yeah. So you can see some sea, and you can see me, maybe a bit better there. How you doing? So yeah, I just wanted to make a little post today because, you know, I'm out here at the top of a hill. You can see the sea. It's all very nice and yin here. But I did go into town on Saturday last week and discovered all the yang. And as my very lovely acupuncturist, Dave, who I highly recommend in Rottingdean Clinic, Marine Clinic, reminded me, this is a very yin time of year. This is the time of year where we want to draw inwards and we want to hang out and not do very much, and yet anyone who's involved in marketing, anyone who's involved in anything to do with sales, anyone who's involved in doing the right thing and making Christmas special and all that kind of thing is feeling the pressure. And you know, we really have got to stop and ask ourselves why, and also to recognise that a lot of the built up stress that gets built up is the expectations we put on ourselves that actually are going to keep getting more until we make a decision to review what this time of year really is about. Because the consumerism that's been building since post-war, you know, since the 50s, 60s, 70s, peaking in the 80s and 90s, there's enough consciousness on the planet now to be like, whoa, what the fuck? This is ridiculous. No one needs to go and buy gift sets for the sake of giving a gift, full of toxic chemicals that aren't even good for you, probably going to stay in the drawer for a year, all that kind of thing, you know. We've done a post, we've put a post out on RozyGlow for what an ethical Christmas could look like. And, you know, this year I'm going to have 3 teenagers in my house. It's going to be an interesting time, and it's mainly a time for gathering together with people I love. I don't have the pressures of family Christmases quite the same way because my family lives all over the place. They live in other countries. I do want to be able to be seen. I'm not quite sure if this is quite right. Yeah, that's better. Okay. So yeah, you know, I kind of get the chance to either get really bar humbug about it or make it something more enjoyable. And what I've seen is people do fall into camps. They kind of either get into it or they're bar humbug about it. And that's such a shame because this is a time of year to draw inwards, and it's also a time of year to share what is there. You know, it's a time not to put yourself in debt just to try and live up to other people's expectations, particularly the media. But it is a time to share what you have, and that can be a prayer, that can be a phone call, that can just be gathering with people you love, extending, you know, yourself wherever you can. If finances aren't an issue, then there are food banks everywhere. Every supermarket has them. There are so many children, there are so many adults, there are so many people in need that making sure we include them, if we have the finances to do so, is really important. But I just wanted to give you some tips really to support you with the yin, because what I'm sort of trying to get at is that a lot of the sort of pressure that builds, the stress that builds, kind of comes into that narrative of, why am I doing this? Why am I doing this to myself? And then projecting that to other people as well. So if you're caught up in it and you don't feel there's any other way to do it than as you are doing it right now, fine. Let's just look at some things you can actually do. You can take deep breaths. You can sigh. Whenever you feel tension building up and you're finding it difficult to breathe, you can sigh. So that just looks like a yeah, just sigh. Sigh many times. Sigh at the sink. Sigh in the kitchen. Also, you can pray. You can pray as you're chopping vegetables. You can pray as you're wrapping gifts. You know, we don't have to be watching crappy stuff on the telly. We can be filling our minds when we're doing menial tasks with things that are positive, that are helpful, that are going to reinforce a sense of optimism and joy and raise our vibration, because that's really the gift we can give everybody this time of year, is to raise our own vibration, to meet our own needs. And meeting our own needs means not putting more on ourselves than we can actually handle. So if you find that you are a pressure cooker where waiting to burst, then you have put too much pressure on yourself. So it's about being able to accept that, acknowledge that, and then to ask for help. That's a really important thing as well, is asking for help. Recognize that you just keeping up appearances in the long run is just going to make you sick. It's not worth it, okay? Stress is the precursor to all illness, chronic stress. So we don't want to do that. So other things that can help are omming. So if you omming will just help to reset your baseline, and you can just imagine that you're breathing in, well, you're going to breathe in, you're not going to be imagining that, hello. You breathe in, and then as you breathe out, when you make the sound, you can visualize it going up to your third eye, crown of your head, and down the whole of your spine. So you're affecting all of your central nervous system. You're giving it a little sonic massage, which is very soothing and calming, and it's an instant relaxation practice. So this is what we need this time of year, is instant relaxation practices. So we've said sighing, we've said omming, we've said praying. So praying can be something as simple as a mantra: may all beings on this planet be happy and at peace. May all beings on this planet be happy and at peace. It can just be a mantra. You say it to yourself, you elevate yourself. It's beautiful, okay, to give that to everyone. May every being on this planet have their needs met. What a wish, what a prayer for everyone. That's just gorgeous. It doesn't cost you anything. But instead of being bar humbug and getting pissed off with everybody because they've got caught up in Christmas, you know, I hear people say, oh, I don't do Christmas, don't like Christmas. And I'm like, fine, okay. But, you know, yes, every other year is a day to be kind as well to everybody, sure. But this is a time to really remember that. And it is a time to extend generosity, good cheer, forgiveness, compassion, care, appreciation, all those things that help the good things in our lives to grow. We've got Saturn changing signs. It's going to be moving into Capricorn in a few days. I think it's the 19th, and we've got a new moon coming imminently. So there's lots of newness, and then we have the solstice on the 21st as well. So it's kind of like we're all getting tightened up to that point, and then things will start to soften again. But a couple of other things I wanted to give you before I toodle off and make some other videos about other things I'm inspired by right now. I wanted to share with you some mudras that will help. So the very simplest mudra is connecting the index finger and the thumb. And I do find this so reassuring. I remember one of my teachers, Sue Elkind, I think her name is, I always get her last name wrong, taught me that what this symbolizes is the unbroken wholeness of the universe and our connection to it. So this unification, unified consciousness that, you know, will prevent us attacking each other and causing wars and all that kind of thing. This is what we're all moving into, unity consciousness. Whether it takes us 1 year or 1,000, we're all going there, baby. So if you're not into it, resistance persists, it's still going to get loved up. We're going to unity consciousness whether you like it or not. We're all going. So you can turn your palm up, and when you turn your palm up and you sit with this and breathe and just witness your breath, you're bringing in blessings, you're bringing in divine inspiration, you're bringing in guidance, you're bringing in a sense of a different perspective. When you turn the palms down so that they're on your lap, palms down, so you're still connected but on your lap, then this one is about internal knowledge. It's being able to sort of check in with where you are. Where am I right now? What is present right now? What do I need right now? When you keep checking in with yourself, it's going to really help you to be present for everyone else. And you know, if the house is going to be full of kids and the chaos of lots of people at home with not much to do because it's cold, just be really careful about the amount of sugar and carbs that you're serving up, because both of those spike our sugar levels and therefore our adrenaline levels. So they cause arguments, they cause frustration, they cause all of the things that make you want to get out of the house. The more you can touch base with nature every day, the more that is going to ground everybody. And you know, you can do a little bit of family yoga together, you can do a little bit of moving and shaking and dancing, and just involve everybody in a release of tension whenever you find tension building up. Jumping up and down, just going, all of that kind of thing just helps to clear it in an instant. This is what we're going for, is instant relaxation. Another mudra you can use is one which we all know, which is Namaste or Anjali mudra, where you bring your hands, so your thumb knuckles will press into your chest, and you press the hands together and you just breathe. You just breathe. As you breathe, you are bringing harmony, awareness. You are bringing your awareness from your head to your heart. The Heart Math Institute talks about this 3-minute practice, which builds the heart sensory cells, which basically communicate with your brain and increase your sense of well-being. So just 3 minutes with your hands in Anjali Mudra or on your chest, breathing deeply and thinking of things that make you feel appreciation, care, gratitude or compassion. What I do with this is I just imagine I'm looking through photographs of all the things that matter to me the most, people that matter to me, experiences I've had that encourage gratitude, appreciation, compassion and care. 3 minutes a day, and the effects of that 3-minute practice last for 6 hours. So the more you do it, the more it builds, and it builds these heart sensory cells which allow your intuition and your inner guidance to support you, because that brain isn't the master organ that we thought it was, that we all learnt in school. It's actually the heart. The heart senses things before the brain can pick it up. So getting connected to the master organ this Christmas will really support you to be in festive cheer, and this mudra really helps. It also unifies opposing forces. So if there's fractiousness in the house, it's really important for you to be the change. So go outside, scream and shout, stamp, do whatever you need to do, but then come back to this and spread that energy through your house. Third mudra is where you bring the left hand inside the right and then you connect the thumbs. So what you do with this, I'm going to get up a little bit, is just bring your hands down into your lap, connect your thumbs and breathe. And this is a meditation mudra for inner peace. So it's, again, really good for just filling your cup when you feel empty. The masculine is holding the feminine. It's creating a protective vessel for the feminine to feel what is here. You know, we're all learning to bring balance into our lives here. So being really sweet with yourself is so important, and focusing on the things you're doing that are good rather than the things that you're doing that you feel are not good, that you want to judge or punish yourself for, is really, really, really important. And that leads me into something else that you could do. And that is you can give yourself the gift of a festive first aid kit. Now, this is a kit that is designed to help you through the festive period without you having to sit there for hours traipsing through things trying to find what you need. It's really easy access, bite-sized little things you can do in an instant that will support you to deal with conflict, because this time of year really squeezes out of us all of our shadow stuff. And I've talked about the shadow before, but it can feel as though families fall apart. It can feel as though the tiniest little thing is going to create a big explosion. It can feel as though you have none of the things you want in your life, and you can really focus on the lack rather than the fullness, the space that you've created for what is coming. So the Festive First Aid Kit is like a mindset shift. It's full of little tools to help you through every challenge that comes up at Christmas, whether it's overindulgence, whether it's family pressure, whether it's the way you feel in certain environments, whether it's to do with your beloved and not having a beloved and being heartbroken, or having lost a loved one, or knowing that you need some yoga practices to get you through and keep your metabolism speeding up. It's full of tips that are really easy to incorporate, that are going to help you feel like you're winning rather than you're losing. And it is on super special offer. So, you know, if you've been thinking about it and thinking you might need it, it's not just going to get you through Christmas. It's a brilliant package for anyone who's going through anything big. So whether you were planning weddings, funerals, holidays, gap years, whatever's important to you, it really supports you to deal with the things that come up. So I hope you take a look at that, and I hope you find this video useful. And I'm just going to remind you again and again over the next few days to celebrate the good and to look for ways that you can be an agent for change. Yeah, this is another reason why I created that package, the Festive First Aid Kit, was to allow our vibration to be the best it possibly can be during a time when a lot of pressure builds up. And, you know, it only takes 1% of the population to be able to hold a higher vibration, and everybody else entrains to that. Only 1%. That's massive. We need 1% of enlightened beings on this planet. Do you want to be one of them? What does enlightened mean? It means full of light. It means willing to face your shadow and love it up, not deny it, not ignore it, not suppress it, but love it up. And you know, that's what this is about. That's what all of the things I do through RozyGlow are about, are supporting you to move towards your own enlightenment so you can be one of the 1%, because we only need 1% of enlightened beings on this earth. I can't count well enough to tell you what 1% of 7 billion is. Is it 7 million or 700 million? I'm not sure. Someone tell me, please. But it's not a lot, and we can do it. If there's enough of us that want to add to that rather than add to the dross and the ballast of this planet keeping us dense and in struggle and in victim consciousness, join me. Come on, lift yourself up. I'm freezing my fingers off here talking to you because I want to be outside. Not to make you feel guilty, because I don't want to do that, but it's really important. This is really important. It really matters to me. It matters to me to know that you make a difference. I want you to know that every little thing you do to help yourself is making a difference. That's so special. That's your gift to the world. It doesn't matter how much money you've got. It's your willingness to show up. It's really, really important. And if you haven't heard of 100 Monkey Syndrome, then that's how it works. The 1% that gets enlightened affects everyone else's subconscious, and before you know it, they're enlightened too. And that's how we bring peace to this planet. And yes, you know what? We're not going to have one unified planet for a long time. But there are lots of us on this earth right now building a new earth paradigm, new principles to live by. And you have the opportunity to be one of those people. So if your heart says yes to that and you want it, then get involved. Sign up to RozyGlow if you haven't already. Sign up to the Prosperity Challenge. It's all free. The Festive First Aid Kit, I'll put a link on this video so you can have a look in the textbook box. It's really, really good value. Super value for this time of year, because I wanted you to have it. Loads of other products on the RozyGlow page. Or book a breakthrough call with me, and why not look into some coaching, because that's the time of year, new year, for all of this newness. But really, it starts now. It starts with those mudras. It starts with the deep breaths, the sighs, the ohms, the prayers. That's what you can do, because you're amazing. And you know, there's loads of homeless charities doing lots of wonderful work as well. So if you really don't want to celebrate Christmas this year, why don't you go and make a difference to someone else's Christmas? And that in itself is going to really, really help you to feel good about yourself, because there are plenty of people that it means something to. And I really do want to go back to this Christ consciousness idea, and Christ consciousness being about compassion, care, forgiveness, allowing. Practice those things towards yourself, and as you do, see how things shift in your world. I would love to hear from you. I'd love your comments. I'm going to go now and pop over onto YouTube, I think. See what I do there. Have a beautiful day. Take care. Namaste.